welcome everybody to round two. Remember, TBC is up 3-0 right now on Team Eternal Journey. We will let the players know that they are good to go. And what do you think of RobotJellyfish's starting hand here?
That's what you like to see, I think, against this deck, because this FTS destruction deck really doesn't like flyers. So a pair of Hojins with power left up. Uh, to my understanding, this FTS Trove deck, it only plays the Combust. It doesn't actually play Torch. So if you land that turn 2 Hojin, they have to either combust it, at which point you are ecstatic because they just, spent at least more than, about 2 power and the combust to deal with your 2 drop. And if they don't, well, guess what? You are swinging away life stealing. And then you have all your influence payoff units, your Kira, your Ikaria. You're going to get there because this Trove deck, it's not rushing you down.
Yep.
So I think Robot Jellyfish was correct.
All right, just getting our hand cam here started. Looks like we got that now. All right, I will turn that on. And now Frafa's looking at a hand of 2 more power, Kindling Carver, and a Heat's Faithful, Smuggler. So not a bad hand for Frafa either, though.
Oh, and the Heat's Faithful is great here if Rafa has the Shadow Influence. I'm not sure they do. Uh, but hey, 4/4 in turn 2 with one more power to do what you want. So we're going to see the Kindling Carver come out, the swing, and then
Gonna sack to get.
Rafa
Yeah, that's aggressive,
is
but I like it. Get that to get your power off there. What a turn. Playing out the Carver, sacking a unit, getting the power off the top of the deck to play off of Carver's ability, and then playing in Heat's Faithful for a 4/4 lifesteal on turn 2. Quite a turn there for Frafa.
wow. So we thought Robot Jellyfish had a good hand, and then Rafa says, "Here, hold this 4/4 life steal for 2 on turn this 4/4 life steal on turn 2."
Absolutely. With a double smuggler and a Grenadin drone in hand as well. Go to the
Oh
market.
goodness.
And it's going to grab Shrine to carve it out of the market here.
Wow. So Frafa just clicking on all cylinders here.
What Jellyfish going to go ahead and activate Akaria and ramp here, which is good, but a little awkward when Frafa's just going off.
Right, right. So Robot Jellyfish really needs to deal with this board. You know, 4/4 and a 3/2. You're getting hit for 7, and you have to
Another
imagine
card.
there got
Another card
Shrines in
off the
hand.
Carver that can be played. Look at that. Aurelian Supplier getting played right here with the charge ability. Frafa able
Good
to use
grief.
they have used literally every power every turn and have played both cards off of their Carver hits.
Right.
Oof.
So finally, Robot Jellyfish is going to top deck an amazing card here in the Silver Blade Intrusion, which will allow them to completely swing this board.
Gonna be nice here. Trying to carve it. And read that one for you if you're not familiar. Your units have +2 power, charge, and lifesteal if you sacrificed a unit this turn, which Frafa can do on demand by exhausting Kindling Carver here.
Right. So trying to carve it is an absolute backbreaker in most cases because go ahead and block my dorks with your higher value units and trade them off. I get more dorks to pump up from my shrine to carve it. I get a bunch of life, and then you have this happening. So even the combust comes out. The
Bust
robot
here for
jellyfish
Frafa.
is going to pop that silver blade intrusion
Yeah,
on
it's
the
actually
dying Kira.
yeah, it's
Hopefully
actually
this
not
breaks
bad for
the pattern.
Frafa though. I mean, yeah, it's a little awkward with the Hojin having a 4/3 lifesteal blocker here that gets kind of free blocks, but not a bad way to take care of the Kira and then forcing Robot Jellyfish to use the intrusion there. But not great
Right.
attacks though.
Yeah. So targeting that Kira instead of that Ikaria forces Ikaria to sacrifice herself in a block.
Ooh, bubble shield too late here off the top. Still not bad. Still not bad
Right.
here, but we could
Right.
have used it last turn for sure.
No, not bad. Not bad.
Back and get some of that life back. Here comes the second Hojin in the Lord Stayer's Tower. Nice to be able to deploy both of those and have a bubble shield. Turns out that ramp ability is pretty useful when you have a lot of things to cast.
Right. Now we see the ramp payoff really putting in some work. So Frafa was really burning through all the resources. But oh hey, here is a Kato, and then you have to imagine the carver is going to just eat that little totem, little Toda, whatever it is.
Yeah, and that's pretty good. Although RobotJellyfish has actually stabilized fairly well here. They've got a board of units. They've got a bubble shield. They've got some lifesteal on board. Now, yeah, Frafa priced into attacking the tower site instead of RobotJellyfish's face. I mean, Frafa still has a smuggler in hand, but that's it at this point. Jellyfish just going to let the site die. Up to 15 thanks to the lifesteal they've had.
Right. You know, Robot Jellyfish is not out of the woods yet, though.
I like that.
Oh wow!
Create and draw a random soldier, and you flip Argo Ironthorn off of it.
Well, that's not a joke, but uh, at least she's ultimately she is basically a glorified Jiral's frost.
Yeah, these Hojins are paladins. They're not soldiers, so
no, they're not soldiers, and nor
unfortunately,
just
a yeah. Fortunately, just a 3/3 for 5 with a stun, but still a nice flip off of Argo's technique.
Right.
Although it's interesting, I guess wanted the unit, but could have held this. Oh, it doesn't have the soldiers, so yeah, couldn't have given the +2 +2 lifesteal because that only affects soldiers.
Exactly. So we see another smuggler from Frafa. I have to imagine that's going for the Stone Scar Strange Burglar.
Arya's a good draw here, and unfortunately for Frafa, RobotJellyfish has stabilized here and is able to get. They're going to gain 8 health this turn. They're going to go back up to 23 on this turn with units out and a bubble shield protecting.
Maybe even more if they pop the bubble shield.
Could be.
But the Hojin into that Hojin's not long for this world because of the decay on the smuggler.
Now Frafa, a strange burglar and display of destruction off the top. So Frafa not out of gas either.
No, definitely not.
And remember that Frafa, because of that shrine to carve it, Frafa's life total is really never in danger either. Because as long as they have units out, they're just going to keep gaining health because all their units are going to get huge, sacking something every turn.
Right. So yeah, RobotJellyfish is definitely not out of the woods. You know, these Katos are threatening to make giants, and then that life total is absolutely massive. And RobotJellyfish really needs to put something together here, but with a shrine active, that's
yeah, RobotJellyfish is not. They're not going to be able to win this game through a damage race, like not even close, because there's no way they're going to be able to do 70 points of damage. So really, they have to try to exhaust Frafa out of resources.
Yeah, I mean that's a tall ask when there's a strange burglar active.
Yep, true. They have any way? I don't know if they have any way in their deck to get rid of Relic. I don't think they do.
They don't. There's no way to get rid of that shrine for Fujira. The answer in Justice is Tiana, if I remember her name correctly. The 2/2 for 3 that silences relics, non-weapon relics. But RobotJellyfish didn't include her in his list, or their list rather. So Combust comes down, Baby Karia, which will force out the bubble shield.
With the 4/2, not. I mean, unfortunately, these trades, RobotJellyfish can keep trading them off, but they're not great because this is essentially just fluff that Frafa's throwing out. They got these 1/3s that are going to turn into 3/1 lifesteals every turn.
Right, right. The robot jellyfish isn't being attacked so much by the unit, so much as the shrine,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't have an answer for that. So I have to imagine this has to be a Corvette Palace. Uh,
We have Vanquisher's Blade.
no,
Okay,
no.
well, that can take
It,
care of the Strange
right,
Burger.
right,
There you go. That's
right.
a good answer to that.
Yeah, my line was completely wrong. Like I thought, hey, Corvette Palace gets robot jellyfish, generating card advantage, but
But that's
gotta
a way
take
to
care of the
answer. Yeah,
bigger
you got
problem.
to answer the engines. You like that because that's how if Robot Jellyfish is going to win this game, they're going to have to shut off these engines, and if they're not able to shut off
Right,
the relic, then shutting off. Oh, but here comes Kindling Carver. There's another one. Got a new engine back. Now Robot Jellyfish is going to
right,
need to answer the Kindling Carver, or Frafa's just going to keep
right.
going off.
So you absolutely cannot block the Kato here. But anything you do block will kill when you're using. Well, except for that one.
All right, so Robot Jellyfish is going to stay at 11 thanks to the life steal. All right, Intrusion's not terrible. Some
Version is
free
indeed not
blocks.
terrible.
Get you some free blocks and get you some Valkyries out of the. That's pretty good. That's going to take care of the Ikaria. Overblade
That
Intrusion
basically
can't do
seals
anything
the
about
game.
that.
Right, because here are two giants. You can only block one of them, and then the rest again.
Yep. That's gonna do. Yeah, that's just gonna be lethal. Well, that was impressive by Frafa. They had. It seemed like RobotJellyfish was on the verge of stabilizing there a couple times, but wasn't able to do it. And Frafa was just able to keep those engines going and draw cards and get more units. And that the Shrine to Carve it just really, really just kept putting the pressure on. And there was really nothing that Robot Jellyfish could do about it to actually stabilize.
Right, right. Yeah, like the way Hurukira is supposed to beat this deck is Baby Ikaria and Valkyrie Enforcer, and then you weapon up or ruffian up the
Mm-hmm.
Valkyrie Enforcer or Ikaria, and you just win in the air.
Yeah.
But when
The one chance they
Frafa,
had to do that, though, Frafa was at what, 70? Like when they had the
right,
opportunity?
right, Shrine to Carve It is a nutty card. Uh, if you can establish Shrine to Carve It, you are in such a golden.
All right, heading down to game 2 here. Let's see. Robot Jellyfish looking at 2 power, Bubble Shield, Tower, Ikaria. Kira sending in a toss that one back for 4 power, Ikaria, Silverblade Intrusion. That first hand didn't look terrible, but I think they're really just saying we got to get the right hand to win this matchup, and I guess they're going to keep this one. Better than going to 6 for sure.
This looks better than a 6 because all of these cards are useful, but oh man, I don't like it. If that Ikaria dies, then you're in a world of hurt.
Now,
Uh,
Frafa did go to 6. So they go to 6, and their hand is Praxis Trove, Smuggler, and Kato.
okay, so Robot Jellyfish at least breathes a sigh of relief that their opponent is going, just tossing the card away. Now here's a Kato that's going to start swinging in. The question is, do you play the Ikaria on 2? Robot Jellyfish says, "I'll make you have the combust."
All right, here comes Smuggler here for Frafa. Ojin off the top for Robot Jellyfish. That's not a bad draw. That'll allow you to get that down. Do you ramp here, or do you play out Hojin with Intrusion up?
Well, that's a great question.
Yeah,
I
you go with
think
the
yeah,
Hojin plus Intrusion plan. I think that's probably better. It's always awkward to not ramp it, but I think that's probably better given the scenario.
yeah, like this intrusion suddenly blows out the entire attack and provides the ramp that Ikaria would have anyway. And there are no other Valkyries in RJF's hand. So the Frafa wing, whether or not to check for the silver blade intrusion, sort of hedges their bets. I'll make you have it, but if you do, you're not blowing me out entirely.
And Frafa actually going to sack there to prevent RobotJellyfish from making any blocks, gaining any health, and they're going to draw a Vine Grafter and a Kato here from that Devour.
So very tight play on Frafa's part.
Mm-hmm.
Now, hey, if my opponent has the silver blade intrusion, I have to get it out of their hand. But if I want to get it out of their hand, how do I do it without getting blown out? Or,
Yep.
you know,
Devour definitely a good card there. Looks
definitely.
like this is a better start for RobotJellyfish. This is the type of hand if you want to win, but trying to carve it here. Change that, but this is the type of start you need. Having pressure, having units, having protection, getting up to 8 Justice Influence for Kira. This is that aggressive start.
For sure. And now Kira's really going to start
Yeah.
turning up the pressure. Let's just buff Akaria, buff Akaria. In fact, that Akaria is just lethal next turn.
If
there's
that was
no
fast. Was that 2 symbols? How did they get up? Yeah, 2 symbols. It was
Yep.
only at 6 power, but 8 Justice Influence, so it's huge.
2 symbols and the Hojin.
Yeah. Symbols and the Hojin's definitely going to do it there. Rafa, no fast spells in hand, so not really much that they can even do about this. Jellyfish going to get that aggressive Silverblade intrusion, draw a card off of the Kira, trigger, not trigger Hojin, get the 2 there. Hojin's. I'm going to play out that Smuggler here. And they do have Argos Technique as well and a Palace, so what about Jellyfish saying, I'm ending this next turn? What can you do?
I mean, yeah, you have to go for the throat as the Kira deck in this matchup, because otherwise, we saw what happened last game. Your opponent just runs away with it.
All right, and yep, RobotJellyfish is going to even it up at 1 game apiece. So that is how you want that Kira deck to play out. If you're playing Kira in that matchup, you pretty much need that type of draw.
Yeah. So as we see in Twitch chat, basically to beat a shrine deck, you have to kill them quickly, because if you can't answer the shrine, it doesn't matter if you're stabilized. They'll just spin their wheels, draw a bunch of cards, play a bunch of 8/8s, and just smash your face in by attrition. So
Yep, but if they can get out early, can protect those units, get those 2 Just Unos, and get that early Kira trigger as well.
right.
That definitely puts you ahead. Okay, so game 3, you got 1 game apiece here. RobotJellyfish going to be on the play. Again, that's random, but that's good for them.
You always want to be on the play. I can't think of a single matchup in which you want the draw. Maybe the Armory mirrors back in the day, but that's no longer a deck. So RobotJellyfish, once again, great hand, honestly.
Yeah, going down to 6 though.
2.
They did drop to 6. It's a great hand, but they did drop to 6. But yeah.
Yeah, dropping to 6 is painful.
Yeah, Kira Hojin David is nice.
Enforcer is an absolute top.
All right, Frafa's got a hand of 1 more power, a Devour, an Aurelian Supplier, Combust, Smuggler, and Shadowlands Guide. So pretty good draw for Frafa as well.
That 6 on the play is painful.
Yeah.
There's real concerns about running out of gas just a little too quickly in that situation.
Unfortunately for RobotJellyfish, let's see if this actually pans out. But the downside on Dovid might actually happen here. Frafa's got the Combust in hand. If they just want to kill that Dovid and get 2/2/1s, that puts Jellyfish back and then also gives Frafa more units to deal with, more units to sack.
Right. So Frafa is a sack deck. They want that go wide.
Oh, yeah, that works perfectly for Frafa's plan. That is backbreaking for Jellyfish. You're already down a card. They took out your big threat, and they got 2 units to use to sack. That's really tough.
Yeah, it's not a pleasant position. So Enforcer going to come down and shut off their regen. Now Hojin will be able to get in and lifesteal. So luckily for Robot Jellyfish, Kira has hit 4 Justice Influence, so they'll be able to at least get the Kira etchings little synergy going the next turn. But yeah, they're pretty low in resources. You have again, Smuggler comes down. You have to imagine that's
Yeah, I mean, if you're the Hurakira deck, I don't know really what you're supposed to do if you mold a 6 on the play and then your key 2-drop gets gets not only killed but gives your opponent the 2 units for it. Just so far behind here. No real protection either for anything. Can draw some cards here off of Kira, but Robot Jellyfish is in top deck mode already and they haven't really done much here. The Palace will be okay, but Frafa is just going to be able to start doing anything they want to do. They've already got the Shrine to carve it. They're going to play
right.
that out this turn.
Right. Like, what do you do when you're behind? Whatever you can, honestly. You gotta go for the you gotta, keep playing how you can. So Frafa using that display of destruction to get a bunch of power, drop that shrine, and oh my gosh, this
And then because that extra power can just get the Shadowlands Guide out too. Get the 2 other Grenadin to give those charge and lifesteal.
And how much damage is that?
That puts Robot Jellyfish down to 6. What an incredible turn there for Frafa.
So, what is this Palace gonna do? Can this even prevent the death by go wide? So, Robot Jellyfish has to hope that Frafa has no sacrifice effect in hand.
Which they do. They have Nahid's Faithful in hand, so that's not going to work. But obviously, Robot Jellyfish doesn't know that. I don't really know what they can do here.
So,
you can draw a random soldier and hope to find something.
Well, that's a random soldier, and it's an unplayable one. So that's going to be all she wrote.
12 for 6, but that's not going to do it on this board.
Nope, there's the Shrine activation. Yeah, that's just... No audacious ruses in Robot Jellyfish.
Alrighty, and that's going to do it. And Frafa's going to end up taking that one over Robot Jellyfish. They're going to take that one 2-1. Apparently 79, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome back to the booth, everyone. And all right, I've got the updates from across the room, and I've got bad news for Eternal Journey fans. I'm sorry, but Mail and the Overmaster both won 2-0. So this is going to be... The score is going to be a 6-0 over the first 6 games. So clean sweep 6-0 for Team Barbarian Camp. That's a pretty impressive showing. If we run this back in February, I think we're going to have to match Team Barbarian Camp up against Team Rankstar. We'll see here. But big winners today, 6-0 in this second flight.